Round 12 and 13 of the historic Formula 4 2000 Championship come from the Brands Hatch Indy Circuit. For race 1, it's the 2016 champion, Andrew Park, on pole position. He was quickest from Andy Storer and Tom White for Graham Ridgway 4th. Steve Glasswell and Greg Robertson will start on row 3 with David Walton, Eric Bailey, John Stapleton and Jennifer Ridgway making up the top 10 of this 14-car grid. So we are waiting for a 15-minute race to get underway already. The green flag has been waved at the rear of the grid. The 5-second board has been shown. The red lights are on now. Can the already champion Andrew Park convert pole into another win? Well, it was a second pole this morning, which is a great time from him. And yes, he leads into Paddock Hill Bend. It's tight for second as Storer and Tom White battle their way through. Look at Jennifer Ridgway. She didn't make the best of starts, but she got around the outside of 3 or 4 cars at Paddock Hill Bend. That was great stuff from her in her first action in the historic championship this season. She turns her way down towards Graham Hill Bend. That's where Andrew Park is. He leads away from Andrew Storer. Tom White, who had a couple of great results at Oulton Park, he's going well there in 3rd place in the Class B car. They turn their way into 30. He's got Graham Ridgway behind. Ridgway in a new car this weekend after his shunt at Oulton Park. He's out in the Tom Smith prepared car. That's a freeway battle heading out of Clearways and onto Clark Curb. Storer, White and Ridgway. And there's a gap back to the chasing pack. They head up towards Paddock Hill Bend then. So for the second time they turn through Paddock. We're on board with Tom White. He's chasing Andrew Storer and putting him under pressure up towards Druids, but there's double waved yellows here. There's a car off. It looks like a car just pulled off on the opening lap. Jeffrey Onions, Reynard added out the race. A lock up there, snatch of the break there for Storer into Graham Hill Bend. He carried the speed through the corner well though. So no challenge able to be made by White at the moment. They're just starting to pull a small gap out to Graham Ridgway. The battle behind, that is Stephen Glasswell, the ex-Formula V racer, ahead of David Walton. They turn out of Clearways, just a car length or 2 between the two of them. And they head on to the Brabham Straight, a slightly tighter line they're taken by Walton. But I don't think that should make too much of a difference to their speed onto the Brabham Straight. On board with Ridgway, this was a replay. This is Jennifer Ridgway gaining a place. It looked like Greg Robertson that she made her way past there earlier on. But back to the action, and it's about a second. Look how much later on the brakes is Tom White than the car is chasing Andy Storer. Storer running out wide. So White therefore being able to carry the speed onto the front straight here. He's looking in the toe too of Storer heading up towards Paddock. He goes up onto the high line, looking to go round the outside here of Storer. The two cars run wheel to wheel through Paddock. And White has gone right round the outside there. Great move. Storer trying to come back down the inside at Druids, so White having to go wide, and the two cars are level, heading down towards Graham Hill Bend. Still on the inside is Tom White, and he holds on to the position as Storer unable to turn in because that Osella was there on the inside. So Tom White goes up to second. Hopping over the curb through 30s. Then up into towards Clearways. And Graham Ridgway there, the side-by-side action has allowed him to catch. So it's a freeway tussle once more for second position. Tom White seemed to have the pace to get ahead of Storer, so will he be able to pull away? Time will tell in this short 15-minute sprint. On board we can go then with Storer through Paddock. Chasing Tom White and Nuttall Stella. Up towards Druids. He turned hard on the brakes. See a lot of oversteer there, or Tom White's car. Storer doing similar. Pretty chilly day here at Brands Hatch. They're trying to get temperature into these slick tyres. You can see the car certainly moving around. There's the leader though, that's Andrew Park. Already the champion of 2016 is Park. And he's got a good lead already. But this is a freeway tussle for second. White, Storer running out wide, so can Graham Ridgway here get a good run through Clark Kerr and onto the Brabham Straight to challenge his daughter Jennifer there in battle still with Greg Robertson. They head out of Clearways and through Clark Curve. That's a good tussle. Another second up towards the Clearways right-hander. There's Tom White. Andy Storer still chasing him. Ridgeway there in P4. And then we rejoin the battle between Greg Robertson, who's chasing down Jennifer Ridgeway in the number 8 machine. They power out off the turn. Into traffic now for Andrew Park. He'll have to deal with that effectively. Meanwhile, Jennifer Ridgeway turns her way into Surtees using the curbs. That's Eric Bailey up ahead. A lot of work there, having to go into the steering from Ridgeway. There's Greg Robertson, who's chasing her. They turn their way onto Clark Curve and down the Brabham Straight they go. There's Andrew Park. Then he's still to lap the John Stapleton car. And they run side by side and Park goes through. Is he being caught here by Tom White? It looks like he is. Jennifer Ridgeway and Greg Robertson. Robertson later on the brakes into clearways and getting right onto the tail now of Ridgeway as they turn their way out of clearways. Yes, they are nose to tail. They're absolutely together now as they come through Clark Curve and onto the Brabham Straight. Coming out of the toe is Robertson, going up on the high line into Paddock Hill Bend. The two cars are level on board with Ridgeway. Later on the brakes is Robertson. He goes round the outside to get that move done. Now Ridgeway tries to carry the speed out the corner up towards Durrett. She goes to the outside line into the hairpin as Robertson defends. Now down towards the left-hander at Graham Hill Bend. Oh, Ridgeway's car there trying to break away all the time. Surtees next up. Through the left-hander they go. Oh, Robertson's car goes very sideways there and it snaps. He spins. Is Ridgeway going to avoid him? No, there's contact. You see the rear end of Robertson's car looks pretty badly damaged and Ridgeway's out the race too, it would seem. She tried to restart it but with no luck. The two cars out of it. Meanwhile, Storer into Paddock, the Andrew Park, not that far up the road now as Tom White hunts him down. White laps the slower car, which Storer will do too. Oh, Storer will run that wide and Graham Ridgeway goes down the inside to grab third. So Ridgeway up into P3, down to 4th for Storer. They go down the inside of that slower car and there is Greg Robertson's car without the rear wing now, Jennifer Ridgeway. Also out of it as our leaders go through. There's Park, the leader. Second White, third is Robertson. On board with Tom White in second position. There's Andrew Park just up the road. But with those two cars very close to the edge of the road, we could well be seeing an early finish to this one. It was just 15 minutes, but that gap, which was well in excess of 5 seconds, is certainly that no more. Into the yellow flag zone come our leaders, Park. You can see Robertson's car actually on the side of the track still. There's Tom White in second, third is Graham Ridgeway. Fourth Andy Storer starting to fall away now. There's Ridgeway then in the third position. And there's fourth for Storer. Well, the checkered flag does fly early and Andrew Park then wins it. Second is Tom White and third Graham Ridgeway. So yet another victory from Andrew Park, but one of the smaller winning margins here today and one of the shortest races of the season too. In second place was Tom White and third Graham Ridgeway. Let's take a look at the result then. It was a 13 lapper. It was a 2-second margin that Park was ahead of Tom White with Graham Ridgeway third and Andy Storer fourth. Fifth was Stephen Glasswell. He beat David Walton. Eric Bailey was seventh. Richard Atkinson Wills in 8th, had a Fraser Collins, and John Stapleton and Jeremy Kane rounded off the finishers. We've got another race to come later on this afternoon here at Brands Hatch.